Hello and welcome to the Scott Sportscast Step Inside the Squared Circle podcast. It is me. I. No, Salad Face Scott. How you doing? Today I want to go over WWE's Raw that happened tonight. I just was able to catch an episode and wanted to talk about it. So first thing that we had happen was who else? Randy Orton putting out his little video to Drew McIntyre about wanting another title match, even though he just beat him twice in a row. Now he wants him in a Hell in a Cell at Hell in a Cell because he's mad that everybody he screwed over came back and screwed him. So he wants to have another match with Drew at Hell in a Cell, which later on in the night Drew accepted. So we'll have that coming up on the next pay-per-view, which go figure. But it also set up the main event, which is a 3-man or 6-man tag, so 3-on-3 tag match. Our next match is Selena Vega, Alana, and Natalia versus Mandy Rose, Dana Brooks, and the Raw Women's Champion Asuka, and also a 6-woman tag match. So we had a nice, good back and forth match. At the end, Mandy was able to land a knee, get the pin. So you have your winners, Asuka, Mandy, and Brooke. But not only did they lose the match, they lost after the match because for Lana and Natalia especially, Nia Jax and Shauna, the tag champs, came out and just started beating up Lana. And Natalia, so Lana got put through the announce table, which there you go. Not a good night if your name was Alana. So our next match came a little bit later, but we had the Hurt Business coming up and offering Ricochet, Ali, and Apollo, that we got one spot. Even if you get drafted, there's a spot in the Hurt Business for one of you if any of you want it. So gave them a while to think about that one. Right after that, Murphy came out after last week. I guess he was having text messages with Aaliyah Mysterio, Dominique's sister. So with all of that drama with the family, and got a real, I wouldn't say romantic, but definitely like a West Side Story thing going on here. So we have Murphy getting mad, and then you have the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, also getting mad. So they're blowing up at each other. So they ended up having a match with Mysterio and Dominique Mysterio and her Crile. Crile ended up losing the match for Mysterio and Crile, thanks to Murphy landing a big knee. And so Murphy, telling Seth, I don't need you. I don't need you. So Seth gave him a little bit of time to apologize. So next we had ourselves a episode of the Keith Owens show. So he talked about how last Friday when he had Alexa Bliss on, the Fiend came out and just started absorbing his soul. He couldn't quite put his finger on what it was. So then he called out Bray Wyatt. Um, and so he pops up on that stupid, creepy little kid puppet show thing. What was it, like Firefly Playhouse? Um, so uh, Keith Owens was calling him out. Uh, Bray, he, Bray Wyatt didn't show out. So basically, he said something about stay tuned for Friday. Um, yeah, pretty interesting guy. This Bray Wyatt. So Alexa Bliss definitely playing that role, nice and creepily. So uh, we'll we'll see how that escalates with Keith Owens. Yeah. Then we had Drew McIntyre basically just confirm that he was accepting the challenge to Hell in the Cell. Then our next match, Braun Strowman was mad that there was no underground, so he was like, "Hey, you know what? Give me something, or I'm just gonna tear this whole place apart." So Limitless Keith Lee overheard that conversation and said, "Let me have him." So they go out there, they're battling, um, and then just kind of testing and meeting each other's strength because they're like the two biggest dudes. Um, so Strowman gets Irish whipped um, to the post, and then they go out of the ring, and then Braun Strowman tackles Keith Lee through the barricade. Then they go up there uh, and to the jumbotron where the entrance and break that screen, and then Keith Lee spears Strowman off of the side of the entrance ramp and through some tables. And yeah, so I don't think anybody won that match. It was just chaos. So they just went to town on each other, and that was pretty much it. So then you were inside the little like laundry room or trash bin room or something, and then all of a sudden the 24/7 champ goes there and he's hiding. Like, oh, need to be safe a little bit. And then out of that trash can pops R-Truth, pulls him in, starts beating him up, and then gets the pin inside the trash can. You can't even see the rest, just counting on the side of the bin. And so new 24/7 champion R-Truth, like 42 times or something. So good for you, Truth. So Nia Jax versus Nia Jax, one half of the tag champ, and Shauna took on the Riot Squad in that championship match that they weren't able to compete in due to medical reasons, undisclosed. So they had that match tonight. They had a pretty good match, but in the end, it was the champions getting it done. They Shauna choked out Ruby, so um, Ruby was forced to tap out, and still your champion, Nia Jax. And our next match was probably the biggest surprise of the night. We had MVP taking on Ali. Um, Ali went out there solo. Thought, like, hey, I don't need any of you guys. I can do this myself. And then match is going. MVP's whooping them up, and then lights go dark. No, not Undertaker. It Retribution. Oh, so those cult-like guys come out and they just start beating down on the Hurt Business. Just completely dismantled them. So it looks like it's possible that Mufasa Ali was in charge of them the entire time. Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. That's if not, he is definitely aligned with them. So it's gonna be interesting to see moving forward. I know I've been trying to figure out who's in charge and who's running those guys. I always love when a new group like that shows up, like Shield or Evolution or the Radicals, all of them. So yeah, so Hurt Business got a little taste of their own business, their own medicine. So Retribution, stay tuned. And then it was our main event of the night, set up by earlier, was Randy Orton being Randy Orton, trying to Randy Ted Bundy Orton. You know, um, I'm not talking that L Bundy selling shoes. I'm talking that trying to defend yourself in court Bundy. It was Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler, and who was their third partner? Oh yeah, Rude. So Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton taking on the three champions. You had Drew McIntyre and the Street Profits. So Angelo and Ford. Um, good, good match throughout. Montez Ford, high flying, getting beat up most of the matches as usual. Drew ended up hitting Randy with a claymore and wasn't able to cover up in time, and then started lining I think it was Dolph Ziggler up. But Dolph Ziggler said, thank you, Randy, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, RKO, Randy Orton, the Viper strike, the Viper, the Legend Killer. Just put an RKO on Drew McIntyre, got the 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. So all in all, it was a nice night. Kind of really pushed these storylines forward, cemented them a little bit going into Hell in a Cell. So other than that, that was Raw in a nutshell. Your little results and recap. So I want to thank everybody for listening. Have yourselves a great night, and we will see you next time here on Step Inside the Squared Circle podcast and the Scott Sports Network. Have yourself a great night.